I texted a prospect today and she hasn't replied by end of day. Not a great sign. So to cheer myself up, I'm going to talk about one of my favorite topics, which is how I will become an enterprise account executive. This has basically been my career goal ever since I started in software sales 6 years ago. So I'm going to talk about the 5 things I'm focused on that I think are most important that I'm actually implementing and trying to get better at in my software sales job as an account executive so I can maximize my potential and get to the next level. And my hope is that by implementing some of these in your role, it will help you be more successful as well. So the first thing I'm focused on to become an enterprise account executive is I need to be able to effectively outbound prospect. I believe that the inbound leads will get me to 60, maybe 80% of quota because the inbound leads are flowing where I'm at right now, which is really great. And I think talent aside, timing and territory really matter to your success. So you want to be at the right place at the right time in the right situation, selling something you're interested in that people actually like. So that needs to be true. But in addition to all of that, you got to be able to close the gap of pipeline and set a few meetings here or there on your own so that you can ensure you hit quota. And then it's those meetings you set on your own that whenever the inbound meetings get you to quota, it's the meetings you set on your own via outbound prospecting. That's what gets you to 125, 150, 200% so that you can eventually promote because you need to outperform your quota. I believe outbound prospecting is the key to my success because if I have 3 to 4x pipeline coverage at all times, then I'm in the best position possible to always hit quota. And hitting quota is all that matters to getting to an enterprise account executive because if you don't have a demonstrated track record of success, then you're never going to get there. So we need to be able to outbound prospect. So what I'm actually doing to implement that in my role is I track all of my input activities. I call it the prospecting point system. It's a game. The goal is 5 points a day, and there's 5 ways to get points. It's adding 5 prospects to sequence. It's sending 5 LinkedIn emails. It is a live conversation via cold call, setting a meeting, or basically qualifying an opportunity. And that can be set via inbound or outbound. So I know kind of tone the line there, but I'm tracking my actual input activity metrics, measuring how effective I am in outbound prospecting, and also reinforcing consistency in my daily activity. The second thing I'm focused on is leading a consultative sales process. I would recommend checking out the Challenger sale. Go to OpenAI or ChatGPT and just type in, I'm an account executive at blah, blah, blah. Help me understand the main takeaways from the Challenger sale. And what he talks about is there's different selling types. There's the lone wolf, there's the relationship seller, but all of his data indicates that the Challenger salesperson is the most effective. This means leading with value, educating the customer, and challenging the status quo, challenging their assumptions. So if they think something needs to be a certain way because that's just what they've always done it, mindfully be like, well, we find that XYZ is actually the best way of doing it. Have you thought about that? Or what would that mean to you? So being a consultative sales process means leading with value, being a thought partner, and not just being a transactional salesperson, but this is taking a step back. How do we multi-thread? How do we increase our win rate? How do we increase the deal size? And that really, really matters to hitting your quota. And then eventually being an enterprise seller because the sales motions get even more complex. The time to close duration increases. And if you're not consultative, you're not going to be successful. The third thing I'm focused on that's sort of specific to my company and the product I'm selling, so it may not be applicable to you, but it's selling consolidation deals. The software product I'm selling happens to be, I can sell like 7 to 9 different products. So I'm selling a full platform. Many of you are probably selling point solutions and you're naturally going to be capped at this unless your company really dominates your market. But when you're selling a true platform and you have multiple products, not all deals are created equal. So you could sell a $50,000 one product deal just because it happened to be a lot of urgency, big pain, and you could solve it. Or you could sell a $50,000 multi-product, 2 to 3 product deal. I think that's more impressive because being able to sell multi-product means you're building value with different stakeholders. You're able to learn and present different products. You're more versatile. So that's very important for me to be able to sell these consolidation deals. So whatever that looks like or means for you in your role, figure out how you can close bigger and better deals. The fourth thing I'm focused on is knowing more. My favorite podcast is Founders Podcast, and he talks a lot about this guy named David Ogilvy, who is this advertising genius guy who created this big agency. And the main takeaway from his book is that the good ones know more. If you're going to be a top tier advertising guy and you're helping do campaigns for some manufacturing company, you want to go to the manufacturing plant and understand how is the thing made, what are people talking about, what do the customers care about, reading all the blogs. You need to know everything. So as an account executive in my role, I need to know more than everyone else. And this is ultimately a knowledge game. So it's very important for me to know everything about the product, being effective in the sales cycle and understanding how to progress things, everything about my buyers, the competitive landscape, the industry as a whole. The good ones know more, and this is an infinite pursuit. There's never a time of day where I'm like, oh, I know it all, I'm good. It's constantly learning and getting better. The good ones know more. And the fifth and final thing I'm focused on is, I just wrote down, be reliable. How can I be the most reliable person in my space? So if I'm pulled into a deal, people around me know what I'm going to get. I know what they're going to get from me. When I heard this description the other day of it's very rare that someone truly just does whatever they say. And whenever they say, yeah, I'm going to do this, you take it to the bank and say, yeah, this is a certainty it's going to happen. And it all starts with yourself and having the discipline and the willpower to say, if I'm going to not drink this month or this year, I'm not going to do it. If I'm going to work out this day, I need to actually go do it. If I'm going to hit 5 points and make my calls today, I need to actually do it. So in order to become the most reliable person around, I need to start by doing what I say I'm going to do to myself, building willpower and being super reliable. And only then will the exterior world start to pick up and say, okay, this person is truly reliable. This is the person we want to put in these situations. And that's why these top tier executives get in the position they are, is because they have a reputation of being incredibly reliable. When they say something's going to happen or they're going to do something, it's a near certainty that it's going to happen. And I want to surround myself with people that are reliable, and I need to be the most reliable person around. That's what I'm focused on. Those are the 5 things that I am doing to become an enterprise account executive in my software sales role. Let me know in the comments which of these 5 resonate the most with you, and if I'm missing anything. If I'm missing anything important that you think I need to be focusing on, because of course I need to know more, I need to get better, hit the thumbs up button now if you have not already. And if you are interested in landing an entry-level tech sales position, I have a link for you in the description below for my tech sales course. Check it out. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.